Hi everybody, Lucifer here, and I'm doing a bit of a different video, which you can probably see from the title, and the title I got from this book. It's called The Last Night of the Earth Poems by Charles Bukowski, and I just finished reading it yesterday. And I gotta say I liked it. I liked it a lot. Charles Bukowski writes in a manner completely foreign to me. He breaks words. I don't know how to explain it, but he breaks words or sentences wherever he likes it. It does give a lot to the tempo of the poem he's writing, but it does also make it kind of, I'm not gonna say complicated, but it does make it difficult to actually follow the poem. You actually have to pay attention of what you're reading. You can't automatically go through it and expect to understand it, which I believe it was his goal, and he did it perfectly. When it comes to themes of his poems, well, that is a story for itself. I mean, he writes about everything. Existential dread, how he was road raging and drag racing on freeways, about rats in his old apartment, and about that one time he haggled with two prostitutes for a three-way. Yeah, that's kind of stuff in this book. I seriously don't know. Well, I do gotta say that it was interesting reading this. This was an insight to a mind of a man who basically doesn't give a fuck. I don't know how else to describe it, because even when he talks about things he enjoys and people he, I don't know, loves. I mean, he was married, so probably loves. But you get this sense of affection, but also aloofness, like, yeah, it's fine, I have all of this, but I could live without it, no problem. That kind of vibe that I get from him in some poems. In the other ones, where he's obviously an older man, I never see regret, which is interesting because he described himself as a drunk and basically a nympho, but there is never regret in his words, which I do find interesting. So yeah, if anybody is interested into reading poetry, I do recommend this book. It's quite good. And no, before anybody say I'm copying PewDiePie and doing a book review, I'm doing a book review for this one book, because this is the only book I've read in over 6 years. The only book that has caught my eye in that period. And the only book that isn't, I don't know, theoretical, scientific, I don't know how to describe it. Because I never read novels, and this is the first time I've read a poetry book on my own free volition. And I do gotta say that I quite like it. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. If you want to read my poetry, there are a couple of links in the description. There are links to my other social media websites and my Discord server. So if you want, you can join that. And bye!